So this new IP has been created by a very talented team. We've been working on it for more than 2 years now.
I'm Jonathan Morin. I'm a creative director at Ubisoft Montreal. And today, we're here to introduce the hyper-connected world of CTOS. In our game, not only do you play within an open city, but for the very first time, the city becomes your weapon. Every citizen's darkest secrets will be at your fingertips. Think about it a second. What would you do with that kind of power? But enough said, and let's look at the game.
In 2012, audiences were wowed during Ubisoft's E3 conference as the lights dimmed to bring to attention the latest trump card from the company's sleeve. Spectators were greeted by a footage that could have been sent back from the future. Watch Dogs looked phenomenal. NPCs seemed to react to every scenario that was simulated on screen. The lighting was nearing uncanny valley levels, and my gosh, as rain poured out, was it by far the most impressive technical showcase we've ever seen. That's literally actual gameplay. Actual gameplay. But despite the obvious graphical marvels, it's that very notion of hacking the world that intrigued the press. From what was shown in succeeding demos, the hacking mechanic was even given more emphasis, to the point where it became the crux of its premise. As it promised in accordance to those gameplay footages, NPC profiles are instantly distinguishable from one another and they do not repeat. Access to money becomes this new novelty, as ATMs are made into static cash boxes waiting to be siphoned as long as you've pickpocketed a poor folk's ATM credentials. Even the world's not immune to Aiden's technological advantage. Car chases could lead to insane destruction derbies filled with traffic light disruptions, pipe-raising action, and by far the coolest perk ever, turning off the power of a whole city block. From the looks of its pre-release, Watch Dogs may have set up one of the most ingenious premises in an open world game. One in which, through this inventive new mechanic, almost all fundamental conventions we've been accustomed to since those early GTA 3 days may be challenged and given a clear, clever new approach. Such a high bar Watch Dogs raised upon unveiling its existence. Maybe in fact too high, the game itself unfortunately wasn't able to at least even. Turned out, hacking was nothing more than an extended interaction mechanic. You know, that thing we've known since the advent of adventure games, where pressing a button allows for a consummation of whatever we have contextualized with. It's basically as rudimentary as opening a damn door, except you're just doing it from an exponentially far distance away. Consider this as an example. In a gunfight, options are made available to raise metallic structures for cover in an instance. This at first glance may seem novel and fascinating, but because the game doesn't actually go beyond letting you exercise this advantage, and due to the fact that performing it is a one-button affair, dealing with enemies becomes ultimately the same routine over and over again, without any tactical depth whatsoever. In other words, it may be equated to having a shootout in a typical shooter game where doors can be opened. Interacting with these doors results in letting you go through them, allowing you a cover advantage, but because it's such a basic concept without any repercussion at all, what it does is extend the variability of gunfights, not expand the layers upon them. This is what Watch Dogs' hacking mechanic ultimately boils down to: a cheap, short time affair to mix up traditional open-world action formula that doesn't introduce any new layer to the well-established principle. Disrupting traffic lights, blacking out certain parts of the city, making geysers erupt, and even raising bridges could result in pretty eye-opening moments of holy crap scenarios. But because the game doesn't try to negate your advantage with something inherently similar to that, the resolution of conflict in this game starts to lose its luster pretty quickly. Aiden makes it pretty obvious that he could hack his way through the world, yet the game only tries to counter it with conventional means like guns, car ramming, and helicopters. The game wasn't even given behavioral measures to neuter the approach of taking a boat and sailing far away from land.
Did I really just lose them?
Be advised, a high-powered patrol car has been dispatched after the suspect.
Well, that's how you lose the police, kids. Baller status. I felt like that was set up like almost too perfect, even though I fucked up a couple times.
Great programming right there. Such design imbalance leads to the most inevitable, an arbitrary sense of challenge. Unlike Grand Theft Auto or other well-grounded open-world action games where guns meet guns, in Watch Dogs, hacker with guns meets guns with more guns.
Get down! Back up!
This results in a sense of challenge that feels overbearing and unfair. Unfair that's not in the sense of being insurmountable creatively, but in an uneven playing field in favor of you, the player. Because as you hack your way through the city, disrupting every mechanical device you could find, all the game tries to do is overwhelm you with sheer number, while trying its best to disempower the player through simply delimiting your capacity to perform hacking, not by actually negating it with something far more creative than a usual zero-sum game that could have at least gave justice to the inclusion of the hacking mechanic in the first place. This is, in and of itself, not a bad thing though. But it sells short of its promise in reinvigorating the open world formula. Instead of improving upon it, Watch Dogs merely attempted to provide an illusion of innovation, though in actuality was nothing more than a nifty sidestep.
Thanks a lot, everyone. Remember, connection is power, but be careful what you do with it. Have a great evening. Thank you for your attention. Thank you.